Hey guys, it's Lynn with what was formerly Curiosity Crochet. We are now Lynn's Loving Life, and I hope you guys like the name change. I know I had put out a video about, having a new adventure or whatever, but it didn't work out, and I didn't want to put you guys through that, so I did not make any further videos. But we're going to get back to crochet. I'm sorry I've been so absent. It's just, life. I know you can all sympathize with me. It was just kind of a craziness for the last couple years. Nothing bad or anything, just, a lot of changes, a lot of things going on, and I just did not have the time or the energy to make videos. But I'm going to try and get back to making at least one a week. I can't promise more than that. Like, if I do feel up to it and I make more, then I'm happy to do that. But at least once a week, I'll try to put one out for you guys. If you're new here, I crochet just about, I give you guys crochet things that I find along the way that are either free or I come up with from a stitch pattern that I found, or whatever I can come up with, and I share them here with you. I make a little bit of everything, but I do make a lot of hats. Today we're making a hat. But I'd love for you to subscribe and join our little community here. I love the support that I've had from you guys, and even the new subscribers that I've gained along the way, even while I wasn't making videos. So I just want you all to know that I really do appreciate you. I'm going to grab a couple supplies and I'll meet you right back. Okay, so you want to make sure whatever yarn you're using, it doesn't matter what kind of yarn it is, just make sure you use the hook that is suggested on your yarn, because that's all I'm doing. I'm using the recommended hook size for my yarn. So it doesn't matter what kind of yarn you want to use. You can use 3-weight, 4-weight, 5-weight, 6-weight. It's up to you. Just use the coordinated hook size and then follow along with what I say. Excuse this, I burned myself on my oven and it's healing very strangely, so I'm sorry about the ugliness. This was actually a burn too that just healed weird. Anyways, I digress. Anyways, the reason why I say you can use any weight yarn for any pattern, I've always said that, is because all you're going to do is you're going to take the basis of whether it's chaining or if you need a certain amount of rows or whatever, and you're just going to measure it against the size of the head you're making it for. And my suggestion is, if you're making it as a gift or if you're just making it to make it, then I would do it at around 22-inch diameter, meaning that, like, when you do your chains or your rows and you go to connect it, this is the diameter, right? So you want your chain or your length of rows to be 22 inches, so that when it comes around, it'll fit a 22-inch head. Okay, makes sense? Excuse me, you guys, I just had a little bit of indigestion. Anyway, so that's where you're going to find it. So either if you're making it for someone specific, you can measure their head or have them measure their own head and give you the measurement, and then just base it on that. So today I'm using 4-weight, and I've got two different kinds. I've got this Premier Just yarn that, believe it or not, I got at Dollar Tree. They always have it now. They didn't used to. And then I've got this dark purple and light purple in Big Twist Soft. I get from Joann's. Now, you can use 1 color, 2 colors, 3 colors. It's up to you. I'm using 3 because I think it shows the pattern off a little bit better. And it's super easy, you guys, so don't even worry about it. This is another where it's 1 row repeat for the hat pattern. The brim is another, it's quick. We're going to do the rows where we're going to join the rows. I'll go over it so that you guys remember. But like always, I'm going to make a very small scale, but I'll walk you guys through what you need to do. So why don't we just get started? So we're going to make the brim first, and I'm using the gray for the brim. So you can, like I said, you can use one color if you want for the whole hat, and then you would just not switch the color. You just keep going. You can do 3 like me, and then so I'm doing the brim one color, and then the top of the hat's going to be these 2 colors. This one's probably I'm gonna change out my hat on my lion. I don't know if I ever showed you guys my little stuffed animals that I make these little hats for, but he needs a new hat. It's getting kind of dingy because it was white. But so we're gonna start with a slip knot. Make your slip knot however you like to. Now I'm gonna make this on a smaller version since I'm making a smaller hat, but you're gonna chain 9. Okay, so chain 9. I chained 5, but you want to chain 9. Okay, and then what you're going to do is, now you can do it whatever way you want to. You can go in the stitch here, or you can flip it and go in the back. That's what I do. So if you flip your work over, you can see that there's like another bump. And I just work back there because it makes it cleaner on the edge here. It makes sense if you see it. But anyways, we're going to go to the second chain from the hook. And we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to jump right to the next one. Single crochet. You're going to go under or in your chain however you want. Bring up a loop. And that's your single crochet. And you're just going to do that all the way across. And you guys should have 8 stitches. Okay? And now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. We're going to go right here in the same stitch, our last stitch from the first row. And we're going to go in the back loop. I'm getting ahead of myself. See, if you look at the top, you can see it makes 2 loops. We're only going to work in the back loop, and we're going to put a single crochet, if I can grab the yarn. And we're going to do that all the way across until we get to the last stitch. And now you guys will have more stitches than me, but when you get to this last stitch, you're going to do both loops. It just creates a cleaner edge, I feel. Now, you don't have to. You can do back loops all the way if you want. They also do it sometimes where you put a single crochet in both loops on the first and last stitch. So it's completely up to you. It's your hat. I want you to love it. So however you want to do it. And you're going to chain 1, and then that's what you're going to repeat. You're just going to single crochet in the back loops all the way across until that final stitch, and you're gonna single crochet in both loops. Okay, now this is what I want you to do. You're gonna make as many rows as you need to get to either that 22 inches or whatever head you're making it for, whatever diameter you need, if you know a specific. My cat is scratching at the door, you guys. Anyway, so that's what I want you to do. And but you have to make sure the amount of rows is an odd number, because that's how many stitches we're going to take into the top of the hat. So, do as many rows as you have to get to your diameter, and then just make sure it's an odd number. So if you need to add or remove 1 row, I would probably say add a row so that it fits properly. But just make sure it's an odd number, like 3, 5, 7, 9. That's all you need. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to make this a little bit longer so we can put it together and make a ring. And I'll meet you guys back. I made 27 rows. You'll have whatever, you get to your diameter. Just make sure it's an odd number. Now what we're going to do is we're going to join this to make a circle. Okay, so we're gonna pull it together and grab your end. Don't worry about that end. But we're gonna go in this first stitch, And then the first stitch on this side, we're going to pull through and slip stitch. We're going to do that in every stitch across. Now you guys should have 8. I have 4. Oop, I almost single crocheted. I have 4, you'll have 8 slip stitches. And my last one. And now you're going to flip it, well, now it's joined, but you're going to flip it inside out and see it kind of gives a nice clean join. I love it. Now we are actually going to do a row of half double crochet around the entire ring. Now we're going to stay in the same color for now. If you're switching colors with me, we're going to stay in the same. We're going to chain 1, and you want to find your first row, and you're just going to put a half double crochet in each row. So you should have the same amount of rows that you made in half double crochets when we come around to the end. So you're going to chain that 1, and then you're going to go in and half double crochet, and you're just going to find each row. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3 loops. And you're just going to find each row. And just make sure your stitch count matches up to your rows. Now, nobody's perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. So if you're coming around and you're coming around to the end and you start realizing that your stitch count is going to be off, just add 1 or subtract 1, whatever. Just make sure you have the amount of rows in stitches so that you can make the pattern work out perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and finish up going around, and I'll meet you back when we get to the end here. Okay, I'm coming up around. Now, when you come to the end here, we're going to, this is my 27th stitch right here, because it almost looks like there's an extra row here because we did that slip stitch row. But just, you know, if you have to add an extra stitch because you lost one along the way, that would be the area to add it. But I have my 27 stitches. You should have what you are working with. Now, before I get ahead of myself here, before you slip stitch, if you're changing colors with me, this is where we're going to change colors. I am going to go with the light purple first, and if I could find the end of it, we'd be doing great. But haha, I'm victorious, kind of, because this thing is a massive heap of crazy. Look at, there's a knot in it. I'm sorry, you guys. So sorry. The new phone I got is an iPhone, and you cannot pause videos. So I have to stop it constantly, and then I'm going to have to edit. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys, but I really don't like editing. But I do love my new phone. There's certain things that I wish they would incorporate, like being able to pause a video. Anyway, so this is what we're going to do. Instead of slip stitching with this color, we're going to go in like we're about to slip stitch, but we're going to drop that gray. Keep it kind of tight, like hold it with your other fingers, and we're going to pull the new color through. Now, if you have different ways of changing colors, do it however you're comfortable with. This is just how I do it. But now I'm going to chain 1. And we're going to start this pattern. Now, I'm going to crochet some of this because I'm going to cut the gray off, actually. I don't need the gray anymore because I'm just doing it on the bottom. So I can cut that off. Now, when I add in the other purple, we're going to keep them connected, and I'll show you what I mean. But anyways, I'm going to crochet over these ends here so I don't have to worry about them later. But what we're going to do now is you're going to chain 1, and in that very same stitch that you slip stitched into, you're going to go in and you're going to pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over. We're only going to pull through that first loop. So now we have 2 loops. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop one time, yarn over, pull up a loop twice. Now you should have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all those loops. We're going to chain 1, and now we're going to skip a stitch, and in the next stitch we're going to pull up a loop, pull through the first loop only, and now we're going to puff basically twice. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all, chain 1. That chain 1 is important because that's basically what we're going to be working into. So make sure you chain that 1. And that's what we're going to repeat. That's how easy it is, guys. Not kidding. For this row, we're going to skip 1, go into the next, insert, pull up a loop, pull through that first loop. Now yarn over and puff twice. 1, 2, pull through all, chain 1. And I have dog hair. Ew! But anyway, so that's what you're going to repeat. Let's do it together one more time, and then I'm going to set you free to do your round, okay? So we're going to skip 1 stitch, and into the next, we're going to insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first loop, and then puff twice. 1, 2, and now I made it too tight. Pull through all the loops, chain 1. And then that's what you're going to repeat all the way around. Okay, so go ahead and I'll meet you back when we're coming up to the end here. Okay, I came all the way around and now we have 2 stitches left. Well, we don't want 2 puffs right on top of each other. And I learned this stitch from another YouTuber. I think it's called Scorpio Rising, because she's got 2 channels, and I think it was on Scorpio Rising. If you ever just want to learn stitches, she's got some really great ones. But we're going to put just a single crochet, and you're going to skip that one, and you're just going to put a single crochet in that final stitch. It's just kind of like a connector, and it's going to go right up that middle, and it looks kind of cool. You'll see what I mean. Anyways, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change colors again, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to flip-flop the colors. If you're changing colors with me, every other row we will flip-flop the colors. So let me get back into shot here. Okay, so we're going to change colors like we did before. We're going to go in like we're slip stitching, but we're going to come in with the new color and then pull that other color tight. And again, I'm going to crochet over, and I'm actually going to crochet over one stitch with the light purple too, just to keep it in place. But we're going to chain 1, and right there in that same stitch we're going to insert and do the same thing. We're going to pull through that first loop, yarn over, pull through all, chain 1. Okay, and then I'm going to drop that light purple. We're just going to leave it attached. And now we're going to jump to this next space right here. And we're just going to repeat that over and over again. That's your 1 row repeat. You're just going to do this stitch round after round until you get to the length that you want it to be. So you're working in, I just want to make sure you guys, so you're working in this space, not really the chain 1. You're working in the space it makes where it's the top of the stitch. So it kind of goes sideways. So here's your chain 1 here, but it gets pretty tight. You're working in the actual stitch it makes. Okay, so you're going in, pulling up, first loop, 2 yarn overs. My yarn is fighting me. All, pull through all, chain 1. And that's what you're going to do. Now, the length is going to determine, you're going to determine how long you want it to be. I really have dog hair everywhere. You guys, I'm sorry. I have 2 big dogs that shed every season. It doesn't matter. They shed. So it's always everywhere, and I apologize. But anyways, the length. You can bring it as high as 10 inches and let it be a floppy, you know, slouchy hat. I usually say, you know, you got to base it on who you're making it for, though, too. So I'm obviously not going to take this one real high because I'm making it for a stuffed animal. And I'll show you him before we sign off after this video. But I would say you're safe if you come out at 8 inches. So I would say to do these alternately. So that oh my God. Woosah. Listen, you're going to keep flip-flopping colors if you're doing it the way that I'm doing it. You're just going to keep flip-flopping them. So at the end of each row, you're just going to slip stitch the new color in and keep rotating it. Okay? So anyways, I would say bring your rows up so that your hat reaches about 7 inches, because then we're going to close it up too. So you gotta have a little bit of room to close it, because that adds to your length. Not a whole lot, but enough so that it'll bring you to about, you know, 8 inches. So between 7 and 8 inches you can bring it to, and then we'll close it. And that should bring you to like beanie length or a little bit of extra length on it. Anything above that's going to give you a little bit of slouch. So that's where we're at. So I want you to go ahead and make your rows. I'm going to do just a few more, and then I'll meet you back and we'll close it up. So go ahead and get your length done, and I'll meet you back. I wanted to jump back in. I hope you guys don't skip past this. So remember, we've got this one single crochet at the end of our row, and then I wanted to show you how to bring the other color back up just in case anybody doesn't know. So you're going to go in like you're going to slip stitch, and you're going to drop that color and grab the other working color. Oops. Or you just don't grab it at all. You're going to slip stitch that, and then I always pull that other color tight, and I do that first stitch right over the other color to kind of secure it. So just like every other row, you're going to chain 1, go in there, pull up a loop, pull through first loop, and do your double puff. Pull through all the loops, chain 1, and go right on ahead. So now go ahead and do your length, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do, because then I'm going to close up the top and just use it on my little lion. So you guys will have whatever length you want. Now you can finish with whatever color you want. You could even bring your first color back in to close up the top. I'm just going to leave it the same color, but you can finish it off with whatever color you want. But I'm slip stitching this last row, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to half double crochets. Now this stitch here I did single crochet because it pulls it in a little bit instead of doing that half double crochet we did in the beginning. It just pulls it in a little bit, and I think it looks really pretty. So now what we're going to do is go back to half double crochet. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to yarn over, and right in that same stitch we're going to pull up a loop and pull through all 3 loops. And we're just going to half double crochet. I can't even get it through here. I'm just going to half double crochet in everything. So that stitch, and then you want to go into the top of this one here. My yarn is turned. You're going to go on the top of this one here too, which is the chain 1 turns that into the stitch kind of. So you're going to go in there and single crochet, and then in the next stitch. So now you'll be back to that beginning number. So I have 27, I'll have 27 stitches. You should have whatever stitch count you began with. I wouldn't worry about it too much at this point because we're just closing it up. So you're losing stitches anyways. So don't get all, you know, bent out of shape if you don't have the right amount of stitches. It's really okay. I promise you. So go ahead and half double crochet your way around. I think I'm just gonna do this with you guys. How have you all been? I miss a lot of you. I mean, I miss all of you, but I miss a lot of the comments is what I was trying to say. Not everybody comments, and I understand that, but that always was what I looked forward to, was the feedback, you know, on the pattern, on the video, on, you know, all of it. Look, I haven't even been counting. So it really doesn't matter how many stitches you have at this point. Just make sure it looks even. That's it. I feel like I am shaking the crap out of this table, and I apologize if it is shaking. Because that would drive me nuts if I was watching a video and it was just shaking all over the place. I think I crocheted too tight, you guys. I have a hard time getting in here. Ooh. Almost to the end here. We got that one. We got that one. And then don't forget about your last single crochet here. You got that last stitch. And then we're just going to slip stitch into that first half double. And now we're going to start bringing it in. Sorry, I got an itch and I need a drink, you guys. Bear with me. So, depending on the amount of stitches you have, I guarantee most of you have around 60. So, I would suggest starting with, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a certain amount of half double crochets in a row, and then we're going to put 2 together. So if you have around 60, I would start with 4. So what you would do is you would half double crochet 4 in the first 4, and then you're going to bring 2 together. I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm just giving you what you should probably start with. So you'll do, you know, right in the same stitch you slip stitched, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to bring 2 together. And then you're going to repeat that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to bring 2 together. Okay, so you guys are starting at 4. So this row you'll do 4, then the next row you'll do 3, and then the next row you'll do 2, then 1, and then we'll do 2. You know, we'll do 2, you'll decrease every stitch, and then we'll close it up. But I have such a small scale that I'm not even going to do that many. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to do 1, 2, but you're going to do 4, okay? And then to decrease, I'm going to go in just the front loop of both. I'm going to go in, I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to go into the next one, just the front loop, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to pull through all 3. And now you have 1 stitch. You turned 2 stitches into 1. And then I'm going to repeat 1, 2, and you're going to do 4. I just want to make sure that I'm making this clear to you guys. But then we're going to go in the front loop, pull through all 3. Did I just do single? Oh my God, you guys. We're doing half doubles, not singles. Not singles. Sorry, guys. Not singles. So half double crochet, 1, 2. And to do a half double crochet is basically the same thing, but you're going to yarn over and go in that front loop, pull up a loop, and then without yarning over, go in the next loop, pull up a loop. You got 4, pull through all of them. And now 1, 2, and now yarn over, go in, don't yarn over, go in, pull through all. Okay, so now that I rectified my mistake, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do 4. Like I said, 4 is probably the magic number for you to start with. But you're gonna follow what I'm, the basic pattern. You'll do 4 in a row and then together. Let's crochet together, guys. Crochet with me, la 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 la. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm in a really good mood today, and I got my crochet room back upstairs, so I am like ecstatic because it's so much easier to make videos up here. I don't have to carry everything downstairs and move everything around, and there's not enough lighting down there at all, so it just doesn't work. Now, remember what I told you. We're just closing this up because, see, like I'm coming to the end and it's not going to be even where I have 2 and then I can put 2 together. So I'm going to do 1 and then I'm going to put these 2 together. So you can figure it out however you want to and make the stitch count, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. So now we're going to slip stitch. And now, like I said, now you're going to do 3, 2, 1. And then we'll meet back up before you go past that. I'm going to just do 1 and then I'll meet you back, okay? Okay, so you guys should have done 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's where we're meeting up. So now what you're going to do is, you slip stitched. You're going to chain 1. And we're going to half double crochet 2 together in every stitch. So every 2 stitches are going to come together. And then I'm going to drop my yarn. So every stitch all the way around. Now, if you feel like after this row, it's not a small enough hole, because I know I don't like to pull together too much. So it depends on what you want. If you want to do another row of decrease, go right ahead. Do another one where you do like every stitch, so that it brings it in a little bit more for you. I don't have to do much on this one because it's so small, so, and I only have 1 stitch left because of how it worked out for me, so I'm just going to put a half double crochet in there. And then, so anyways, you can do as many rows of decrease as you want. Like, if you feel like you want to start with more than 4 even, sorry guys, if you want to start with more than 4, do like 5, even 6 if you want, and bring it in slowly. But it's gonna peak and then it's not gonna look right, so just be careful with that. I wouldn't go more than 5. I wouldn't even go more than 4, but it's up to you. It's your hat. Remember, I want you to be happy. So now that we've brought it down to where we want, we're just gonna cut off. Leave yourself a little tail so that you can close up the top completely. Let me get my needle and I'll just show you real quick. Look at my nifty little, because I lose them all. So I bought this on Wish and it came with this thing, so now I never lose them. It's amazing. I don't really like ordering from Wish, to be honest with you, because everything takes forever. And I've started doing, junk journaling where you use stickers and paper, and it's like scrapbooking, but they call it junk journaling now. And I ordered some stuff from that Ally Express or whatever, however you say that one, Ali. But it's taking forever to get that stuff too, because it all comes from China, and it's like, I just want my stuff. But sometimes it's worth it because I love these. But anyway, so now we're going to take that little end that we used. This purple is probably a little too dark. I should have used something different. But we're going to go in one stitch and come out the next stitch. And then don't go back in the one we just came out. Jump to the next and do the same thing. In and out. In and out. Now, if you like closing your circles up a different way, do it however you feel comfortable. But then you just go all the way around, pull that puppy tight, and then I like to go across and, you know, kind of solidify the close. Go one way and then turn it and go the opposite way. And I'm losing my thread. And then what I do after I do that is I pull the yarn through to the inside. And I sew in my end underneath here so that it's not on the outside. If I could get it through the yarn, it would be amazing. And I, you know, just go back and forth a couple times. I'm sure I didn't even have to show this to you guys because you're all pros. You're all amazing. But just sew it in. Flip it off. This is going on Leonard the Lion. I don't even know what his name is. He's just a lion. I'm not even sewing these ends in. Yeah, I'm not. Because he doesn't need it. He doesn't really move, so, you know. He doesn't need it to be all perfect. But there's our little hat. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoy the hat. I really love this pattern. This purple was a little dark for us today, and I don't think the light was working all that great with it. But I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave some comments down below because I love them. I love them. I love them. Good or bad. Tell me I sucked. I don't care, but I love the comments. If you could, give me a subscribe if you're new. Even if you're not new, give me a subscribe because you know you like watching. You know you like hanging out with us. So give me a like if you liked the hat in the video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm really glad to be back, and I really do appreciate you guys. See y'all. Wait, you guys. Wait. Look, my TV was even unmuted. Hold up, don't leave yet. I wanted to show you Lion. Okay, so here's his old hat. It is really cute, but let's see if this new one fits on him. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I think it's even going to be a little big. I made it a little too big, Lion. And he needed some color in his life. Oh, look at Lion. Oh, he's got him a new hat. And it's a slouchy hat. Look at him. He's a hippie. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.